Good morning, students of class 4. Students, I'll be continuing with lesson 5, Gulliver's Travel. So, those of you who have got the new edition of Wordsworth English Reader book, please take out your books and turn to page number 39. Lesson 5, Gulliver's Travel. Today, I'll be discussing the question and answers of lesson 5, Gulliver's Travel. Students, I had discussed exercise A of comprehension. State whether the following statements are true or false in my last video. And today I'll be discussing exercise B, that is answer the following questions briefly. But children, before I start with this, let's once again read the lesson so that you're able to understand the answers quickly. I'll be reading. Please listen to me carefully. Gulliver's Travels. I'm only 42 years old. Still, I've already had many strange adventures in my travels to far off lands of the world. Strange adventures aren't what you had expect from someone named Dr. Lemuel Gulliver. But being a doctor in London just didn't satisfy me. Traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated me. So, after qualifying as a doctor, I signed up as a ship's doctor and spent 3.5 years sailing around Europe. I accepted an offer from the captain of a ship named Antelope to be the ship's doctor on a voyage to the South Seas. We set sail from Bristol, England on May 4th, 1699, and after peacefully crossing the South Seas, we were hit by a violent storm off the west coast of Australia. Poor food and too much work while braving the storm caused the death of 12 of our crew and weakened the rest. So when the wind drove us onto some rocks and split the ship apart, only 6 seamen, myself included, had enough strength to get a lifeboat down into the sea and row clear of the ship and rocks. Suddenly, a strong blast of wind from the north overturned our little boat and scattered my companions. I never laid my eyes on them again. I began swimming in whichever direction the wind and the waves pushed me. I don't know how many hours I spent struggling, but just when I was completely exhausted and water seemed to be filling my lungs, my feet suddenly touched bottom. I took in several mouthfuls of air and looked up to heaven. It must have been about 8 in the evening. The storm had decreased and there was enough light to make out land about a mile away. I spent the next 2 hours trying to drag myself towards the shore. I was so weak and tired when I finally limped out of the sea that I dropped down on a patch of soft grass. Within moments, I was sound asleep. Exercise A. State whether the following statements are true or false. First, the writer of the story was a doctor. Children, this is a true statement. Dr. Lemuel Gulliver He's a doctor and a writer of the story. He hated the sea, false. Rather, he was always fascinated to see different parts of the world. So he took a job as a ship's doctor. Third, he left his family behind in England because he wanted to sail. True. He took up a job on the ship, so he had to leave his family behind in England and then he went for a voyage. Fourth, they had an uneventful, peaceful trip around the world. Children, false. The trip was eventful, full of events, and it was not at all peaceful. So, this is a false statement. 12 members of the crew died in the violent storm. True. The storm had led to shortage of food on the ship and excess of work they had to do to face the storm. And so in that, 12 of them died and only 6 were left. So this is a true statement. First one is true, second false, third true, fourth false, and fifth true. Now, children, question number 1. Exercise B. Answer the following questions briefly. The first question is, why did Dr. Gulliver sign up as a ship's doctor? Answer, Dr. Gulliver signed up as a ship's doctor because traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated him. It is given, children, on the first page of the lesson. Here. Traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated me. So this he has written. So our answer will be, children, why did Dr. Gulliver sign up as a ship's doctor? Now, children, please note one thing. Whenever there is did in the question, that means we need to change the answer, the verb, in the past tense. So, beta, हम क्या करेंगे? Dr. Gulliver, हम sign में ed लगा देंगे to make it in the past tense. So, our answer will be Dr. Gulliver signed up as, sign में SIGN ed हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So, Dr. Gulliver signed up as a ship's doctor because traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated him. Answer will be Dr. Gulliver signed up as a ship's doctor because traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated him. Children, please ensure doctor's D would be capital, Gulliver's G would be capital. And in ship, there is apostrophe S, so you also need to write apostrophe S in the answer. Ship's doctor because traveling, T-R-A-V-E-L-L-I-N-G. T-R-A-V-E-L-L-I-N-G. Traveling to distant, D-I-S-T-A-N-T. Distant lands, L-A-N-D-S, lands in the world always fascinated him. Spelling of fascinated is F-A-S-C-I-N-A-T-E-D. F-A-S-C-I-N-A-T-E-D. Fascinated. So once again, I'll revise answer 1. Dr. Gulliver signed up as a ship's doctor because traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated him. Answer number 1. Dr. Gulliver signed up as a ship's doctor because traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated him. Question 1. Why did Dr. Gulliver sign up as a ship's doctor? Answer number 1. Dr. Gulliver signed up as a ship's doctor because traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated him. Now, children, question number 2. What happened to the antelope? Now, children, what is antelope? Name of the ship? Antelope. Now, please listen to the answer carefully. A violent storm hit Antelope and strong winds drove it onto some rocks which split the ship apart. क्या हुआ था बेटा एंटेलोप के साथ? वायलेंट स्टॉर्म ने एंटेलोप से टकराया, बहुत 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 पावरफुल स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टॉर्म, एंटेलोप से उसकी टक्कर हुई एंड उसके बाद क्या हुआ? विंड्स जो है पुश करते करते एंटेलोप को कहाँ ले गई? सम रॉक्स, एंड वो जब रॉक से जोर से टकराया और उसके बाद क्या हुआ? द शिप ब्रोक अपार्ट, जो शिप है वो टुकड़ों में टूट गया. दैट इज द रीजन डॉक्टर गिलिवर along with 5 other seamen they had to take a lifeboat to, they thought that they'll save their lives because the ship, it had broke and now the ship would sink, so they took a lifeboat to save themselves. So the answer will be a violent storm hit Antelope and strong winds drove it onto some rocks which split the ship apart. Again I'm repeating answer 2. A violent storm hit Antelope and strong winds drove it onto some rocks which split the ship apart. Which split, S-P-L-I-T, split the ship, S-H-I-P, ship, apart, A-P-A-R-T. Question 2. What happened to the antelope? Answer. A violent storm hit antelope and strong winds drove it onto some rocks which split the ship apart. A violent storm hit antelope and strong winds drove it onto some rocks which split the ship apart. Now, children, question number 3. Why were there only 6 sailors in the lifeboat? Now, why were only 6 sailors left in the lifeboat? What about the rest? Now the answer will be poor food and too much work, too much T-O-O spelling, T-O-O-2. The spelling of 2 will be T-O-O. Poor food and too much work while braving the storm caused the death of 12 of the crew of the ship Antelope. So, there were only 6 sailors in the lifeboats. You can see the answer over here, children. I'll make you mark the answer. Here it is. Poor food and too much work while braving the storm caused the death of 12 of the crew of the ship Antelope. So, and weakened the rest. So, there were only 6 seamen left in the lifeboat. So, now let's read question number 3. Why were there only 6 sailors in the lifeboat? Answer. Poor food and too much work while braving the storm caused the death of 12 of the crew of the ship Antelope. So, there were only 6 sailors in the lifeboat. Again, I'm repeating answer 3. Poor food and too much work while braving the storm caused the death of 12 of the crew of the ship Antelope. So there were only 6 sailors in the lifeboat. Question 3. Why were there only 6 sailors in the lifeboat? Answer. Poor food and too much work while braving the storm caused the death of 12 of the crew of the ship Antelope. So there were only 6 sailors in the lifeboat. Now, question number 4. Describe Dr. Gulliver's struggle to reach the shore. Children, this answer would include all the things which Dr. Gulliver has written, that how he managed to reach the shore. So the answer will be, after the boat had overturned, comma, Dr. Gulliver began swimming in whichever direction the wind and the waves pushed him. Full stop. For many hours, comma, he kept on struggling, but just when he was completely exhausted, 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 and water seemed, SEEMED, seemed to be filling, FILLING, filling his lungs, comma, his feet touched bottom, full stop. He had to take mouthfuls, mouthfuls, mouthfuls of air, full stop. The shore, shore, was still about a mile away, full stop. It took him another 2 hours to drag himself and reach the shore. This is a long answer because this is a descriptive answer, children. You need to describe how Dr. Gulliver managed to reach the shore. So I'm repeating this answer again. Please listen to me carefully. After the boat had overturned, Dr. Gulliver began swimming in whichever direction the wind and the waves pushed him. For many hours, he kept on struggling, but just when he was completely exhausted and water seemed to be filling his lungs, his feet touched bottom. He had to take mouthfuls of air. The shore was still about a mile away. It took him another 2 hours to drag himself and reach the shore. Question 4. Describe Dr. Gulliver's struggle to reach the shore. Again, answer 4. After the boat had overturned, Dr. Gulliver began swimming in whichever direction the wind and the waves pushed him. For many hours, he kept on struggling, but just when he was completely exhausted and water seemed to be filling his lungs, his feet touched bottom, he had to take mouthfuls of air. The shore was still about a mile away. It took him another 2 hours to drag himself and reach the shore. Children, this answer seems to be long, but if you understand the meaning, you will be able to write it. Look, describe Dr. Gulliver's struggle to reach the shore. The first event was after the boat had overturned. सबसे पहले बेटा क्या हुआ था? बोट ओवरटर्न हुई. You try to remember it in events. The boat overturned. उसके बाद क्या हुआ? They were scattered in the sea, है ना? So the boat overturned. Dr. Gulliver began swimming in whichever direction the wind and waves pushed him. The boat overturned. Dr. Gulliver began swimming. उन्होंने swimming start की. हाँ, और किस डायरेक्शन में? डायरेक्शन ऑफ द वेव्स एंड विंड्स. आप इसको पॉइंट वाइज समझोगे तो आपको फास्ट लर्न हो जाएगा. सो आफ्टर द बोट हैड ओवरटर्न, दिस इज द फर्स्ट पॉइंट. सेकेंड, ही स्टार्टेड स्विमिंग इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ विंड एंड वेव्स. जिस भी डायरेक्शन में विंड और वेव्स पुश कर रही थी, ही टुक दैट डायरेक्शन सो दैट इजियर फॉर हिम. ज्यादा उनको स्ट्रगल नहीं करना पड़ेगा, है ना. देन फॉर मेनी आवर्स, बहुत घंटों तक, ही केप्ट ऑन स्ट्रगलिंग. ही kept on swimming. He kept on swimming, and he was completely exhausted. And then he was unable to swim. So what happened? The water started going into his lungs because वो swim नहीं कर रहे थे. और जब आदमी बेटा डूबने लगता है, drown होता है, तो water उसके मुंह में जाता है. So water started filling his lungs. And suddenly that point, उनके जो feet है कहीं पे टच हुए बॉटम में सी के. नाउ सो जैसे ही हुए तुरंत इमीडिएटली व्हाट डिड ही डू? ही स्टार्टेड टेकिंग माउथफुल्स ऑफ एयर. सांस लेने लगे सो दैट कि वो डूबे नहीं नीचे. एंड देन he took mouthfuls of his air, and then still the shore was a mile away from where he was. Then it took him another 2 hours. उनको फिर और 2 घंटे लगे because of his tiredness. He took time to cover the distance. वो 1 माइल का distance था उनकी थकान and exhaustion के कारण, and still because he also was weak due to lack of food. बेटा जब वो swim कर रहे थे उनको कहाँ से खाना पानी मिलता? So, and one cannot drink sea water, everyone is aware. So it took him another 2 hours to reach the shore. So you please learn this answer in points. Now children, let's revise once again all the answers. Now question number 1, why did Dr. Gulliver sign up as a ship's doctor? Answer, Dr. Gulliver signed up as a ship's doctor because traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated him. Question 1, why did Dr. Gulliver signed up as a ship's doctor? Answer number 1, Dr. Gulliver signed up as a ship's doctor because traveling to distant lands in the world always fascinated him. Question 2, what happened to Antelope? Antelope was the name of the ship in which Dr. Gulliver had taken the job as a ship's doctor. Answer number 2, a violent storm hit Antelope and strong winds drove it onto some rocks which split the ship apart. What happened to the Antelope? Answer 2, a violent storm hit Antelope and strong winds drove it onto some rocks which split the ship apart. Now, question number 3. Why were there only 6 sailors in the lifeboat? Answer number 3. Poor food and too much work while braving the storm caused the death of 12 of the crew of the ship Antelope. So there were only 6 sailors in the lifeboat. Again, I'm repeating. Poor food and too much work while braving the storm caused the death of 12 of the crew of the ship Antelope. So there were only 6 sailors in the lifeboats. Question 3, why were There are only 6 sailors in the lifeboat. Answer: poor food and too much work while braving the storm caused the death of 12 of the crew of the ship Antelope. So there were only 6 sailors in the lifeboat. Now the last question. Fourth, describe Dr. Gulliver's struggle to reach the shore. Answer fourth. After the boat had overturned, Dr. Gulliver began swimming in whichever direction the winds and waves pushed him. For many hours, he kept on struggling, but just when he was completely exhausted and water seemed to be filling his lungs, his feet touched bottom. He had to take mouthfuls of air. The shore was still about a mile away. It took him another 2 hours to drag himself and reach the shore. Question fourth. Describe Dr. Gulliver's struggle to reach the shore. Answer. After the boat had overturned, Dr. Gulliver began swimming in whichever direction the wind and the waves pushed him. For many hours, he kept on struggling, but just when he was completely exhausted and water seemed to be filling his lungs, his feet touched bottom. He had to take mouthfuls of air. The shore was still about a mile away. It took him another 2 hours to drag himself and reach the shore. Children, please write exercise A and exercise B of comprehension in your English notebook. And children, please write the questions with a black ink pen or gel pen and answers with a blue ink pen or gel pen only. Please do not use a ball pen in your English notebooks. And after finishing the answer, please use a scale for drawing parting lines. Please draw lines after each answer. And for drawing lines, please use a scale. So as soon as you finish one answer, draw a parting line with a scale and a pencil. Please do not draw lines with a pen. Use a pencil for drawing lines. Pencil and a scale. And please write the question and answers neatly in your English notebook. Now children, we'll be doing exercise C. Find antonyms of the following words from the story. Now children, what do you mean by the word antonyms? What do you mean by the word antonyms? Antonyms means opposites. Antonyms means opposites, while synonyms means words of same meaning, similar meaning. Antonyms beta, opposites, ekdam opposite meaning, and synonyms, similar meanings. So antonyms means opposites. Now we need to find the words from the story which are opposite in meaning to the words given. So find antonyms of the following words from the story. Children, our first word is familiar. And the antonym of familiar given in the story, children, is strange. Strange, that is unknown, not familiar. Familiar, antonym is strange. Familiar, strange. Familiar, strange, strange, familiar. Familiar, strange, strange, familiar. Familiar, something which we are familiar to, है ना? जाना पहचाना. And strange, not familiar, जिसको हम नहीं जानते. So, strange. Familiar, the antonym opposite of familiar is strange, and the opposite of strange is familiar. Antonyms means opposites. So familiar, strange. Familiar, strange. Now, our second word, children, is nearby. And nearby There two antonyms are given in the lesson. You need to know both. Nearby one is far and the other one is distant. Both are the antonyms of nearby. If you want, you can write any one, but you should know that these two words are the antonym of nearby. Nearby beta matlab koi cheez paas mein, and far and distance means something which is far away, दूर है जो, है ना? So nearby, far, distant. Two antonyms given in the lesson. Nearby के बेटा दो antonyms आपके lesson में है, far and distance, and you need to know both. Nearby, far, distant. Nearby, far, distant. Both the words are antonym of nearby. आप कोई भी एक choose कर सकते हो जो आपको easy लगे. If you want, you can write both. If you write both in the notebook, but in your exams, you can write whichever you remember. So, nearby, far, distant. Far, distant. Now, children, the third word is calm. And the antonym of calm is violent. The calm का मतलब क्या होता है बेटा? एकदम शांत. And violent, which has got a lot of power and strong. मतलब बहुत power and strength जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा हो, जो बहुत strong हो, बहुत powerful हो, है ना? मतलब एकदम मार धाड़ करने के लिए तैयार. That is violent. So calm antonym is violent. Calm, violent, violent, calm. Calm, violent. The sea was calm बेटा, समुद्र एकदम शांत था. And the sea was violent, मतलब कि बहुत ऊंची ऊंची waves थी, एकदम तूफान जैसा आया हुआ था. That is violent. So calm, violent, violent, calm. The opposite of calm is violent, and the opposite antonym of violent is calm. Calm, violent, violent, calm. Now the fourth one, strong. And the antonym of strong, children, is weak. Strong, weak, weak, strong. Strong, weak, weak, strong. Strong, weak, weak, strong. Strong, weak, weak, strong. Now, the fifth one, assembled. Assembled मतलब बेटा assemble करना, जोड़ना, पास पास लाना, इकट्ठा करने टाइप से, है ना? assemble करना, इकट्ठा करना, जोड़ना. अब इसका एंटोनिम क्या हो जाएगा? scattered. बिखरा देना, छितरा देना, बिखरा देना. scattered, फैला देना पूरा. assembled, scattered. Assembled, scattered. So the antonym of assembled is scattered. We have read in the lesson na कि a strong blast of wind overturned the boat and all the 6 seamen were scattered in the sea. वो चारों तरफ जोर से scatter होके उन लोग water में थे. So assemble करना, एक साथ जोड़ना, इकट्ठा करना, and उसका antonym scattered मतलब बिखर जाना टाइप्स करके. So assembled, scattered, assembled, scattered, scattered, assembled. So these are the antonyms. Assembled, scattered, scattered, assembled. Assembled का antonym scattered and scattered का antonym assembled. And the last word, children, is energized. And energized, now there are 3 antonyms given in the book and you must know. Exhausted, tired and weakened. 3 है बेटा आपके लेसन में, but I'll just write 2. Exhausted and tired. आप चाहो तो आप weakened भी लिख सकते हो. So exhausted, tired and weakened. Exhausted, tired and weakened. There are 3 antonyms given in the lesson of energized. Energized मतलब full of energy. और इसका एकदम ऑपोजिट क्या हो जाएगा? एग्जॉस्टेड, EXHAUSTED, एग्जॉस्टेड. टायर्ड इज TIRED, टायर्ड. एंड थर्ड इज वीकेंड, WEEKENED. So You can write all three in the notebook, but when during exams, you can write only one. So energized, exhausted, tired, and weakened. So antonym of energized, I'm telling you all three words which have occurred in the story. Energized, antonyms, exhausted, tired, weakened. Exhausted, tired, weakened. You can write any one. Let's revise, children. All the antonyms: familiar, strange, familiar, strange. Second, nearby, far, distant. Nearby, far, or distant. Third, calm, violent. Calm, violent. Fourth, strong, weak. Strong, weak. Fifth, assembled, scattered. Assembled, scattered. And sixth word, children, is energized, exhausted, or tired. So children, I hope now you have understood the exercises of comprehension, exercise A, B, and C. Please complete all these three exercises in your notebook.